Alright, guys, so this is part 2 of the Psychobabble versus Uncle Will. Uncle Will put out a video, Psychobabble put out a video called Uncle Will Rally Crack Squad. They're about to blow the lid off things. And I'm disagreeing with both of them in this. Like, I'm a big fan of Psychobabble, and I'm not a fan of Uncle Will, but do your research before you make a video. I'm just saying.
You what they're doing, and they're under no obligation to do so. The police have one obligation, and that's to keep the Kiely Rodni family updated. Nobody else. They don't have to tell the media anything. They sure as hell don't have to tell you nothing. And I guarantee you they've got a mountain of evidence you don't know anything about.
So if they have a mountain of evidence for a girl that drowned it, because that's what you say, Psychobabble, she drowned it, right? So they have a mountain of evidence for a girl that drowned it, in your opinion. That doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't need no evidence. You just need a couple of things to say she had water in her lungs, she died in the water. That doesn't take a whole lot of evidence. Yeah, she got killed. I'm not agreeing with any of the bullshit that Ryan Upchurch says or Uncle Will for that part, but I'm also not agreeing with Psychobabble saying she drowned it. Like, I just don't agree with it. She was killed. That's just what happened. That's what happened to Kiely.
You're not aware of it, Inspector Gadget.
Because they didn't put him in jail already. So
you just said he was arrested. So which is it? You contradict yourself in your own.
So the guy he's talking about, because this is part 2, you guys missed that part if you didn't watch the first one. So there's a kid that got arrested for giving a young minor fentanyl, and he got arrested, but Will said by accident that he got arrested on the day before the party. Like, so he was arrested already. That's not what happened. He didn't get arrested till like 2 or 3 days after the party. So they both should have looked into the information a little bit more. Uncle Will should have looked into it to figure out what the fuck he was talking about before he made a video. And Psychobabble should have looked into it a little bit before he made his video. Because this kid did get arrested a couple days after the party for giving a 15-year-old fentanyl and her passing away. But yeah, on to the story.
You said he was arrested.
He was. 2
for
days
giving
later.
a 15-year-old girl fentanyl so he could have sex with her, like you were in his mind, and you knew what he was going to do.
That's what happened.
But now, you're saying he wasn't arrested for it. So which is it? He was arrested for it, or he wasn't arrested for it?
He was definitely arrested for it.
Just wondering. Because this is your story, remember.
That really would explain it. But y'all go check it out and go look for yourself.
It doesn't explain it.
I'm not saying he's guilty, but I got a strong suspicion. This is more likely what happened.
More likely than just an accident.
It wasn't
drove her car.
It wasn't an accident.
To the water's edge like she had done many times before.
No, it wasn't an accident.
Just accidentally ended up in the water. They say it's 1,700 people die every year in the United States by ending up in the water in their car. Ventures was purpose, just them alone, just those 2 dudes, have found 26 people that died that way. That the police couldn't find. But for some reason, Crack Squad, you small-minded simpletons, can't wrap your mind around the most likely thing, which would be an accident. Well, so let's hear some more. You're not.
An accident is not what happened. I'm not part of the Crack Squad. I'm just part of my own fucking opinion. And my opinion is she didn't fucking die of an accident.
All right, y'all have a good one. See, and then that boy may be on that boy might be on Nick's camera. Ain't that crazy?
Nick's camera.
The tow truck driver, who's not a tow truck driver, who's really a AAA guy.
See, this is another one. The ignorance it takes to make a statement like that. Once again, people run their pie hole and they don't have a clue what they're talking about. There is no such thing as AAA driver. No such person exists. AAA subcontracts roadside service to independent repair shops. And they just give them a sticker to stick on their vehicle. Anybody that has an auto repair facility in a tow truck can.
And this is true, like AAA just is, they don't have their own company. They just freaking, they do their own thing through other companies.
Be a AAA service call. Can be on the list to be dispatched. Many of the shops I worked for were AAA. AAA approved. You see a little sticker in the window when you walk up to the place. And that's what that means, Will. That means that their name and phone number is on the list. So if a AAA member calls AAA and says, hey, I'm out here on Highway 42 and my car won't start. They go down that phone list of calling those shops that are AAA approved till they find one that'll say, I'll go. And that's how it works. Now, you say, well, why would a shop sign up for that? Well, they get work that way. Okay? So if I go out, if I'm Joe Bob's Auto Repair and I got a tow truck, and I put my name on the list to be a AAA, be on the AAA dispatch, and I get the call, then I get to tow the car to my shop, or I get to sell them a new battery. That's what that's all about. Not one of them are employed by AAA, you simpletons. Not one. And it is the same thing. Tow truck driver and AAA would be the exact same thing. It's AAA calling a automotive repair facility that has a tow truck that is willing to do AAA calls. Now, in return, they charge AAA a very low dollar amount for the tow. When I worked at Taylor Chevrolet in Lancaster and we did AAA tows, we got $3.95 per mile. And it didn't matter what the tow was, we got $3.95 per mile from AAA. Now, in hopes of, we would drag in a car that was broke down and needed repaired. That was the whole point of signing up and getting your name out there. But AAA doesn't employ. Now, there are some AAA repair shops that AAA owns as a franchise. You can buy a AAA franchise shop. There's some of those in the Midwest. They're not very popular. There's not a lot of them, but there's a few. But the overwhelming majority of AAA service people are just some independent shop with a tow truck that put their name on the list. And I'm just sorry you guys are ignorant about that and you don't understand how it works. There's no such thing as a AAA guy that ain't a tow truck driver. That's just stupidity because you don't understand how it works. They all drive tow truck because they're a repair facility. And that's why they're on the list. And I could drive around today and pull up to random tow trucks and show you the AAA sticker in the back window. Moron.
Yeah, there we go. Let's call people morons for no fucking reason. I'm sorry, but I get that you're trying to get your point across. I get that, and I'm cool with people trying to get their point across. But your point, if you're trying to get your point across by being an asshole, you're not getting your point across, really. Just saying. Well, what the fuck? Oh.
Hey, Will, there's not, you don't have to worry. There's not a chance in the world you're right.
They at least burn his ass, but they'll probably try to hide it because they're liable because he should have been.
Why would the police cover up for a 15-year-old drug dealer? You see how you guys run off on these ridiculous theories. that make no sense. You said he was arrested, but now he's at a party. Well, he couldn't have been arrested then, right?
Well, he could have been.
Just
being that he got arrested after the fucking party, not before the fucking party. But anyways, so he could have. I gotta watch an ad, apparently. But yeah.
this is stupid. And if the police thought this guy did it, why wouldn't they have arrested him by now? Why would they cover up for him?
He was arrested already 2 or 3 days after the party.
So stupid.
Look into stuff before you make a video.
Stupid, Will. It just goes to show how small-minded you are. Your IQ doesn't run.
But you also need to look into shit. I don't think he has anything to do with Kiely, the guy he's talking about. But he fucking 100% is a real person that really got arrested a couple days after the party for killing a 15-year-old with fentanyl that apparently Kiely was actually trying to get with.
Eyes high enough for you to have peripheral vision. You have a very narrow focus, and you can't see the big picture. So even when you build your own theories, they're full of holes because you didn't think of all the things that could be wrong before you concocted your nonsense. Now, in Ryan Upchurch's defense, he was stoned out of his gourd.
So because he was stoned out of his gourd, that's an excuse for what he did. No. I'm sorry, that's not a fucking excuse. I don't agree with anything the dude did. And if we're gonna make excuses for him now, that's fucked up.
So, he has an excuse.
No, he doesn't.
For being just a complete idiot. What's your excuse? Are you stoned out of your gourd or are you sober? Because if you're sober right now, that would indicate you're just dumber than shit.
In jail.
Placer County poisonings. So he's facing murder charges, but he's free to go to a party. Oh, okay. Lewd behavior on June 21st, 2020. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable stupidity.
I honestly believe that's our best lead. That's all the thing. Go get on that. Let's see what somebody can find out. What if I told?
So Crack Squad's on the case. They're going to find out what they can find out about this 20-year-old and his fentanyl and his what's in his mind, what he's going to do to the year when he got him high. You guys, all of you, Crack Squad, you're the biggest perverts I've ever seen. Every single thing with you people revolves around a sex act. You're just the biggest perverts.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say about that.
I've ever ran across. Listen, folks, have a good day. I didn't even have to try to humiliate Will. He did it himself. What do you think about that?
I think that both of you should have looked into it a lot more than you did. That's what I think.